Meow will still be finding out which battleground's going to take place. Any ideas what Luna Meow might do here?
I peeked. I know.
Can we get this
Jaden,
guy
I'm
off
cheating.
here? Already, he is throwing wrenches in my plans. All right, we can look at.
Hey, that is German efficiency, okay? I'm coming in prepared.
Oh, I see how prepared.
There's a stereotype
Cheating.
I have to fulfill.
Luna Meow is going to take the battleground choice. I feel like we're going to see this a lot in best of 2 formats. If you lose the first one, then pick the battleground. That's what we see quite a lot, I think, in China too, where the best of 2 format is their tournament format. So we're going to go to Infernal Shrines. Immediate thoughts of what we think might be drafted here?
Well, just to quickly sidetrack that 1 second, I mean, this is their most played map for Luna Meow. They've map picked this 5 times across the season. They've usually had a preference for first picking, but they are going to go for the map pick here. In terms of picks itself, a little bit of a smaller map. Yes, there is a macro element to it, no doubt, absolutely. But this allows them to try and play those fights a little bit more consistently.
I'm ready for the Kerrigan. Can I just say it now? I am so ready for our Kerrigan. Surely we get one, right?
What is all?
During the tournament, definitely going to see that, and this is a great map for her for sure. And Tempo Storm again, they can just like, from their perspective, after that first game, they already think, okay, we are definitely stronger on basically any level. If we don't get out-drafted by our opponent, we should be able to close it out with a completely standard draft. So they
instantly
can really
deep ban.
The respect. I would not want to deal with that either. That was horrifying.
Lessons were learned, and I mean, they completely exploited the weak hero pools. The Arthas, or sorry, the Abathur comes across as well, which is nice. And as you already mentioned there, Caldo, that was my main concern coming into this series. Yes, it is a best of 2. There's not really much time for you to adjust, but I really wanted to know, how did Tempo Storm view this? I think a lot psychologically would have been told if they'd gone in like, we need to draft a lot of macro, we don't want to force a fight, we are a little bit nervous on day 1. But they came in, they cleaned the perfect game, not a single kill across. So
to be honest, from Tempo Storm's perspective, you want to play the most standard they can possibly get, because every team that looked at the playoffs in North America was seeing those completely wild drafts and that NA meta that came through, and everybody is still guessing, okay, what are they going to play here? Are they going to play these picks on the international stage? Are they going to fall back on a more standard level of play? So if you don't want to show anything, you want to keep it as clean as you possibly can, try and play something normal, and then you still have those wild drafts that you can show in the groups, in the playoff stage later. You can just go in and say, okay, now we're hitting you with what we really feel is the best here. You don't have to use that against Taiwan.
Yeah, and I like the Phoenix coming out here very early on. They realized that he got punished quite heavily last game. Diablo, fantastic map for him, just as well as it is on Tales of Doom. Lots of collision spots for him to execute within. And also the innate synergy, the one that screams out to me the most, would have to be the Lightning Breath into the Purification Server. So that level 10 power spike is immense.
Also a denial from the Diablo-Tyrande combo, but we'll point it out, it's not necessarily that you're going to get a traditional tank from North America, and we'll see if we still get it here. I think this is very possibly going to be Fan playing Kerrigan and then glowering back on his mouth ale, but either way, Tempo Storm bringing back an old classic, the double melee assassin.
I would absolutely not be surprised to see a tank with this too. I expect this tournament to see a lot of triple melee being played again. It has been very dominant. I love the earlier pick from Luna Meow on Phoenix. I mentioned it in the last draft that the ban from Tempo Storm against Phoenix was a great one because Luna Meow is so focused on playing with Phoenix and trying to execute his strength. So the Taiwanese team realizing, hey, we can't get away with picking him late because they will target it as a third ban, picking it really early with a combo with Diablo. But now you go up against that aggressive engaged composition that Tempo Storm has, and you have to now figure out on the side of Luna Meow, how do you live through that CC? A cleanse would be fantastic for them, something where they can just like shut down that engage and then turn the fight around.
This is interesting for me because, you know, traditionally speaking, I would have thought that would have been a Blaze ban because you want to make sure that there's no denial for that, you know, hard-hitting engage, right? You got the Kerrigan engage, the Mouth Your Last Rites, the Tyrande with the stun, and the Hunter's Mark, right? The Bunker gives you that reset potential, but this just shows the level of confidence that Tempo Storm are coming into the series with. There's the Blaze, and there's the deck again. So many slows right now to really accentuate what this Phoenix can do. It's so reliable. Gives them that power spike through 1 to 9 to really allow the Diablo to come online at level 10.
It's definitely going to make it a bit harder for Tempo Storm to execute it properly, and we do not see that tank. They're going into the double support again that they have shown in the playoffs in North America.
It is triple melee still, though.
Typically,
Hey!
Not quite the triple melee we were expecting, but yeah, it's still true. So they are busting that out, and I have to admit I'm a little bit surprised. I really thought that they would go more into a style where they are trying to, you know, lull potential later opponents and say like, okay, we're going to keep you guessing what you really want to play. If that, what we've shown in the playoffs in North America, is really what we're going to bust out at this event now too. But again, the Uther, the Tyrande, we talked about this earlier, and there's a terrifying amount of CC on that lineup.
A part of me wonders, you know, we've played this already, people have already studied it, people know what we're going to do with it. Maybe it's the case of we just want to try it again, we want to try it against another opponent and just sort of, you know, get warmed up, and maybe even try and confuse our opponents later on into this group, thinking, hey, they're still stuck in this set way of double support and melee is the way to go. So a part of me says that it could be I'm just overanalyzing this and overthinking the situation, but another part of me goes like, yeah, maybe they really want to throw people off.
Well, what exactly do Luna Meow have? They have bunker. How crucial is it that the bunker is perfectly timed then from Virgil against what Tempo Storm has?
Maybe it comes heavily down to first Blaze with the bunker and also Deckard Kane, but they need to keep their eye on Kerrigan in particular. Once that engage happens, and especially the additional stuns through Tyrande and Uther come through, you're going to lose your backline again. Especially Jaina is going to be in trouble. So it's just, I don't think it's only the bunker, it's Diablo and Blaze really making sure that they have good position and don't allow a Kerrigan to flank them, because if that happens, it just lights out immediately.
Hopefully Blaze can get something out of his self-unstoppable with new habits then, so that he can make sure he is there. We're going to head back over to the casters for game 2.
It did not take long for North American meta to show itself. Dreadnought, game number 2, tank Uther, support Uther, whatever your flavor is, Dreadnought, North America's here.
Yeah, it is very much so there. It's going to be interesting to see with the Kerrigan coming online, especially with the defensive tools, as the panel was talking about with the bunker, how safe we're going to see Luna Meow be able to be, because in the last game, even without as offensive in your face of a composition that you would expect like we see in this time from Tempo, Tempo looked very, very dominant. So this is, I feel like, a tough game here, and it's all about, can you juke the WE there of Kerrigan?
This feels like Tempo Storm from about February this year, when they're like, we're all in. Stukov was the answer then. No Stukov this game. Instead, Luna Meow, we're going to see if they can bring the damage, as they're going to be on the left here in blue, as it will be Bowie. He's going to be on Phoenix. Virgil will be on Blaze. A lot lies on his shoulders, as well as Kim. He'll be on Diablo. Big Cheese will be on Deckard, and Immortal will be trying to bring the damage there on Jaina.
Here in the red is Tempo Storm, where we're going to have June still, as always, on the Tyrande. Finn on his Rainer. Next up, we got Caterpillar repping the Uther here. Double support coming. And Fan on the front lines playing the Kerrigan. And as always, Glorong on his legendary Malthael.
For those that didn't follow a lot of HGC North America, we saw a lot of double support. We saw Justin of Team Octalysis, who Cattle credited in their Week 5 interview when they, or excuse me, their playoff interview when they qualified for BlizzCon. They said, look, we scrimmed Octalysis so much, we scrimmed against Justin so much that we started to pick up some of these, and we're starting to see some of that here with that tank Uther Dreadnought, or the Uther on the front line to help empower this melee. So an interesting approach for those of you that aren't as familiar. This is not that different for what we saw towards the later stages of North America.
Combo comes out there onto Rainer, Luna Flare in, and Tempo finds themselves their first blood there. I was just going to highlight the interesting laning, asymmetric laning that we see once again from Luna Meow, going for Virgil into the offlane to get that pressure. Glorong did not lose anything when it came to the transition of that experience there. So Luna Meow, you can see that they're coming in with an early game plan to try and stop this cadence from Tempo Storm. And so far, they have been unable to do so, as we saw Fan finding himself the first combo.
Wow, not able to juke just yet. We're going to see Fan, nice use of that Ravage to jump over to a minion out of that route. There's going to be the stun lockdown. That's the interrupt on the warp. He does not make it out of that one. Very nicely played by Vin to come up with an extra form of CC. They get kill number 2 here, just a minute and half, about a minute and a half in.
Yeah, really good sidestep there from Kim to be able to get the dodge on that combo. You know, we often talk about hitboxes and how impactful they are in Silver, you know, straight lining one-shot skill shots. But when we're looking at Kerrigan, your odds of getting clipped as a Diablo is very, very high. You are a big boy.
Too.
Yeah.
Phoenix, even when they shorten those crab legs, it's like, yo, Phoenix, you still got that big body there.
Yeah.
And so Fan probably licking his chops there. Nice use, trying to get the combo. Use that double Ravage. You have those. You still get the reset, Dreadnought. Now when you kill the minions, that's built in. But now you get those double charges. You can make some of those nifty plays. We saw one of those on Infernal Shrines when they qualified.
Yeah, it's really cool to be able to see here, and I love that new playstyle that exists here with the reworked Kerrigan. Tempo Storm, you can see they're feeling very confident in their composition. We know to be lethal, starting as early as level 1, and they're very much taking advantage of the fact that they have that with this composition. Trying to get the invade there onto the Impalers after picking up their own, already accumulating that 1-level lead here in the pre-10 phase, as we see Tempo willing to back out, look towards their Shamans, as we know the first Immortals phase is just now coming up. You know, it is a little bit inconvenient in the fact that it is middle for Tempo Storm here, but they have so much macro pressure out. Lunar Meow is going to be chasing them around for some time.
This first one, in North America, sometimes we've seen teams maybe ignore when there's not as much lethal threat. You're an early Diablo, you don't necessarily have the souls right away. And against this heavy aggression, you have a lot of kill potential from the early game with the Phoenix and the Jaina. It's just a matter of surviving throughout. And when you can survive the initial onslaught, you can turn this around, and they might be trying to turn it around right here. Cattle, he'll get the charge in. Cattle trying to walk away, just dodges the route, being tracked down right now, supplying, but here comes Fan.
Yeah, but June is there as well with all those healing coming out with the auto attacks. Now Virgil seems to be the focus. Lunar Flare will end up connecting here. Damage coming through, but Blaze is still ignited here. He is going to be alive as we get Tempo Storm with their transition down. And this small kind of scuttle here in the northern lane has gotten at least that breathing room that Lunar Meow wanted over this next shrine. That Shaman camp was a free clear, while Tempo was not getting free skeletal defenders themselves. So this is a good shrine for Lunar Meow.
The scary thing is that they have to act quickly because 7 is approaching Malthael. We saw Glaurung down there soaking. 7's picked up. Now that 7-tier advantage is here. Lunar Meow starting to recollect themselves, backing away, but Fan going in, trying to get another combo landed. That's going to be Immortal, the first to fall, and Tempo Storm coming out hot here because Virgil's trying to, he's like, you know what? Fan's like, Virgil, I got my team taking care of business. I'm coming over here for Bowie, unable to get a 3rd kill, but a double there for Tempo Storm.
Great job there as well by Glaurung to make sure that he got in position to get that full body block. Even though the Lunar Flare didn't end up connecting, it put it in a position where it just didn't matter. The damage output for Tempo Storm was very much too high. And J-Bao, we've been talking about the threat that this comp has for Tempo, but we haven't been talking about the threat it has with the Punisher, because it is some of the best point-and-click follow-ups to this little guy's leap that we have ever seen. So Lunar Meow has to keep track of this 15-second cooldown very clearly. Otherwise, it is just going to be death after death. Kim, the best baiter here, but he has no iframe to get out of it, and there's no wall. This is scary for Lunar Meow.
You don't want to give up the fort because there's a lot of experience in this, but defending this is going to be difficult. And there's going to be the combo, the stun following up immediately. Fan instead jumps over. He did go Boundless Fury, so when you hit a hero, you get an extra charge of your Ravage. We already mentioned the double charges, but whenever you hit a hero, you can cycle to another one. You can only do it once every 10 seconds, but it brings that playmaking potential even higher here for Kerrigan as this Immortal, 50%. Fort already down.
Really good Sentinel use there. I think it's very important to highlight that we see June throwing out the Sentinel right before he thinks it's going to be a reasonable time for somebody to position themselves and bait that Punisher over the wall. If he reveals Bowie out a little bit too far, that's a Punisher lead and a kill there. Heads up play though from Lunar Meow, understanding the situation and being as defensive as they were. But the question is, without Heroics and Tempo closing in on a lead here, are they going to still be passive? And the answer is no. Here's the invade attempt. Fan finds a combo. It's a big one there. Immortal trying to survive, but double kill here for Tempo Storm, about to be, oh baby, a triple. Tempo cleans up shop here and finds a huge lead here in game 2.
I'm jumping over here. JK, I'm jumping over there. And he's like, just everybody come here. It's a dance party. And wow, well, this is a 2-level lead for Tempo Storm Dreadnought. They've come out on fire with these compositions. The aggression's been there. I actually like that call from Lunar Meow because if they just wait and sit by, they're going to be down that talent tier going into the next Immortal anyways. So they had to take an early risk. It's not the most condemning thing, but it's not good when you're down 2 levels this early.
I very much agree, and I think that's a very important thing to highlight, is that if Lunar Meow doesn't take that fight and that skirmish, that this game, in the long run, would be a far more grim picture than that was. And normally, I think a lot of players, especially before they achieve the international stage, struggle to identify where those marks are. But Lunar Meow is a roster here that is experienced, especially, you know, members like Bowie there for the team. Tempo, though, keeping up the siege with their heroic advantage. At this point, the world is theirs, whatever they would like to make happen here. And it looks like at least a keep front wall seemed to be the focus for now, as Glau gets that off-lane soak with the Pale Horse.
Just hanging out in those lanes. Kinetic Fulmination picked up by Kerrigan. Every time she does damage, it empowers the next Impaling Blades, which is why you saw that use. He's like, I've got these stacks, let's use them. But also when you now have Maelstrom Dreadnought just stacking very quickly, getting that, he lands those combos now, stacking that quickly in these. That's why Fury is so good, but it's been nerfed slightly. But you still have that power, that quick damaging power on the combos now post level 10. So it's going to be interesting to watch how more lethal Kerrigan can become.
In the downtime, we see Tempo looking for a double Impaler. It's going to create a split pressure. And J-Hall, this is a moment where I expect Tempo. This is them willing to split up because they know their lead is so big, and now they're going to wait and just kind of shark around. Wait for Luna Meow to be like, which Impaler would you like? Because both of those are very easy for them to go and get a counter kill or get a counter clear. The Impaler, or the Shaman Camp on the upper half, though, is going to be a focal point here for both teams, knowing that we see the objective spawning in 25 seconds on the bottom half. Luna Meow picks up theirs. Tempo will be a little bit late on this, but I would expect if anybody goes for a free clear, Fan, he's going to be looking for a kill.
Well, there's the Sentinel that goes out again. We'll see that of Luna Meow coming in. Cattle comes in, drops the hammer, gets the dismount on Diablo, but Tempo Storm, they're so close to 13. They're like, look, this camp, it doesn't mean that much to us. This is a very good lesson to learn in a lot of just regular games too, is that camp really worth dying for right now? If you win, great. If you lose, it's bad. There's a lot of comeback potential in that. But Glaurung,
out too far, the APOC, the damage comes through, and Luna Meow pick up their first kill here in this series, and maybe a moment for them to recover here, what felt like a quickly avalanching snowball.
I'd say it's a bit of a misplay, Dreadnought. That camp was just picked up. The invade was there. Luna Meow didn't show where they went just yet. Glaurung felt he needed to go out and clear, thought he might have had the mobility to get out of there. Instead, will get caught out, and that is a perfect opportunity for Luna Meow to fast clear this as much as they can and then try and make something happen. But Tempo Storm starting to move forward, still have that 13-tier advantage, see if they can find somebody out. They get Kim right out of the gate, but now Fan's in trouble.
Fan's in a big, bad spot there, but he gets the Divine Shield. He's leaping around, finding ways to get the Ravage and the Shield. We see this stay a while. Listen, after the bunker, now Glaurung finally joining the rest of the team here for Tempo Storm as he ends up throwing down the curtain, gets the follow-up here. Immortal, the focus, last rites, gets the proc there. Now Kim is going to be the focus for Tempo Storm. They find the 2 kills, unable to get the kill there onto Bowie. But a great moment of recovery here by Tempo.
That was crazy. Fan is just like, look, I got Boundless Fury. I'm not actually trying to kill anybody. He got the Divine Shield. He's like, look, I'm gonna build my shield up. He just hopped around to every single hero he could, got the resets wherever he could, and then all of a sudden he comes out of that. He's like, I got enough shield, past the Divine Shield. I can eat this salvo. And then the entire time, the rest of Tempo Storm was doing work.
It's very important to kind of highlight that, is that strategy of risking that 4 versus 5 temporarily is not available without Nuker. He is that, I can buy you that time. The only other hero, maybe a Zeratul, maybe a Medivh, like, there's very few exceptions there. And Tempo showing that they know the intricacies here of their composition. Glaurung on the offlane, getting pressure onto Virgil, but it seems like LM may sense that maybe Glaurung's out a bit too far once more. Bowie trying to help out there, but keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, there's a Punisher here in the bottom lane.
Yeah, this is very threatening. 1 kill right now could be all she wrote. The minute this keep goes down, the next jump right now, Dreadnought, will be what determines if this game ends right now. They get Kim in their sights. There's going to be the combo. Diablo, he's going to be targeted. Does he have enough souls to come back if he drops? But he stays alive. Here comes the stay a while. Listen, down comes the bunker. Luna Meow surviving for now. Tempo Storm, see if they go for one more shot, Dread.
Yeah, we'll see if they end up having it there. Also, shout out to Cattle for a beautiful cleanse there onto the APOC combo onto Glau. I was like, that was inevitable end, and the answer is no. He doesn't even have it. Combo now goes on. Last rites is there. Kim is out of here. 10-1 in terms of kills. Tempo losing the Punisher. Will they go to the core? It looks like patience going to be displayed here, and understandably so, J-How. Double support Kerrigan is not a composition that I go, scream siege. If anything, the fact that your offlane is a Malthael, you go, wait a minute, that passive doesn't work on core. This is a bad time to siege up. Heads up play here by Tempo.
Ooh, that was a penetrating round that said, we'll see next fight. Trying to confirm that kill over the wall, unable to do so, but 15 versus 12. The minute this tower falls, you'll be looking for the threat towards 16. They have Hyperion if they want to get some sieging done, but the next Shrine Dreadnought in the top, they'll start calculating, trying to figure out their rotations, trying to figure out how they can put pressure in different areas. This is where Tempo Storm, in this stage of the game, Dread, is one of the best that we have in North America.
And we were talking about those windows for Luna Meow, though, to be able to recover in this game. We identified window 1 at the 8 into 9 fight. This is another one, J-How, the 12 into 15 before before the 16 threshold is achieved by Tempo. They want this. If I am Kim, I'm looking for this initiation. They wanted it for a moment, but now they question, is this the time nor the place? 16 achieved by Tempo. Cattle, he's getting thirsty there as Glaron goes for the flank. Kim's the focus as the last right's going to be used. Shadow Charge against the wall along with the bunker. Last right's not even needed. There is a kill as Kim will be back with souls, but Baked Cheeks now the focus after the Lunar Flare. Good night. Tempo finds 2 kills. And that one miracle fight just barely out of grasp.
That play by June right there is going to be enough to help seal the deal. That play on the Immortal, you can see Fan just goes out there. That play by June is enough to put the stamp on this game. Is now 3 members down. That's 4 at the total at the end of this. Diablo already back. But that Sentinel that went out there for that slow with that 13, that is beautiful to watch as Tempo Storm will take this series 2-0.
Not as clean as game number 1, but only 1 kill available. Tempo's got to be happy with that. Combo coming in. Last stand here for Luna Meow as they dive against the core. Try to save it, but Tempo statistically here is just too powerful on Infernal Shrines. And with that, Tempo find a way to pick themselves up 2 wins here in the best of 2 against Luna Meow.
With all due respect to Luna Meow, this is a start to the day. Luna Meow coming in, Tempo Storm, a different style, a different play style, something that maybe the other regions aren't as used to. You can study all you want, but the minute you go against it, it's a different feel, it's a different pace for these teams. Tempo Storm, they'll have another competitor later today by the name of Genji. We'll see if it stacks up then. This is a very good start if you're a North American fan for Tempo Storm.
Yeah, if you are an NA fan, as you said, it is a great moment there. Mainly on the lack of, it didn't get too wild. It's what we've seen from them, but still confidence, still dominance being displayed there by North America. But I mean, I feel like when looking at Luna Meow, as you said, it's the start of the day. They have opportunities here, and it is a very different beast. As a guy who used to playing internationally, the minute you get there, it feels miles different than what you knew, that comfortability of your own region.
Well, we know Tempo Storm has confidence. We'll see if that confidence carries over later in the day. But for now, we're going to send it back over to Gilly and team at the desk.
Thank you, guys. That's right, Tempo Storm only losing a single death through an entire 2 games versus Luna Meow. Very dominant stuff, but a victory that was needed for them if they're going to make it out of groups.
Yeah, and I mean, let's not mince words here. That was a warm-up game. Like, that match was definitely Tempo Storm just performing. People came maybe and had a question, okay, are they going to have problems here? But they shut that down immediately. Extremely dominant performance by him, looking good heading into the group as expected. Luna Meow, they have to answer a few other questions now. If you want to make it out of group, which is their goal, then you have to beat BTG first of all, but you also need to find another team in the group where you can take maps. And they now have to look at this and say, okay, who is that going to be? It wasn't Tempo Storm, maybe it's Team Liquid, but for them it's going to be rough.
And to bring it back to a storyline we were talking about earlier, Fan and his jumping into the role that Sam was performing, we knew Sam was an incredible Kerrigan player, but Fan was putting on a show, Skimmy.
He really was, and that's the replay we're going to bring up right now, Gilly, just to sort of see exactly what Fan could do. The show was right there. We're going to start off with this little overview of the shrine itself. Now, there is obviously a 2-level advantage, so they're coming into this one already with a disadvantage. Now, notice the position of both Virgil as well as Kim. So they're coming to try and pincer maneuver on to Fan. But notice, actually, as we roll the clip forward, just how things happen. So you're going to notice that the overpower from Diablo comes across. That means that the jet propulsion does not connect, and Fan does then get taken out. It buys enough time for these 3 members in the backline from Tempo Storm, completely unoccupied, completely free to do whatever they like to make things happen. So now we're going to roll the clip forward, and you're going to see right there as Fan drops super low, he's going to get that Divine Shield and do what Kerrigan does best on a map like Infernal Shrines. Plays hopscotch, dancing left, dancing right, going all over the show, and Pixel Perfect just jumps out as the Stay and While Listen goes down. But the biggest thing to take away from this is the fact that the bunker had to be used. Now, the reason I mention this is because somebody that got taken out already in that top lane, be it Glaurung, the only kill that you see on the scoreboard, he's on his way back. He's on that mini-map. He's coming on in with that last rights, and he is going to abuse the fact that the bunker is already gone. So if we roll this clip forward now, the server is going to be used, not going to really find too much value. Glaurung rocks up and goes, oh, what's up, boys? I can do this. Jumps in right there. Immortal has no ice block, no chance. He falls on down, and then it becomes a slaughter fest from then on. So Tempo Storm once again getting a draft that they're very comfortable with, and executing well.
Yeah, and shoutouts to June for that amazing Divine Shield at Safe Fan, but in those instances, Fan was pretty low, and we know they're playing Genji later on. Do you feel like that's something that possibly Genji can capitalize on in a way that Luna Meow could not? I mean, it's the most punishing team in the world, so...
Yeah. Softball right there.
Yeah, let me know that hard-hitting analysis, Caldor.
No, I mean, as I said before, this was more of a warm-up game. The question that heading in, if you are a North America fan, no matter, like a Heroes fan in general, is will Tempo Storm embarrass themselves here? They didn't. They look strong, they look good. Meta that they have worked really well against one of the weaker opponents within their own group. So that's exactly the start that you want. You gain some confidence, you get used to the stage and everything. Now you have to try and transfer that over. You go up against Gen G next. That's arguably a fantastic start, because not only do you have more of a warm-up game, but at the same time you go up against an opponent that is supposed to win this group. So even if you lose there, everybody is going to be like, yeah, that's fine. But if you can take a map of Gen G, if you surprise them with some draft and you take a map, that would be a massive victory. So I feel the schedule that Tempo Storm has is definitely something that they're very happy about right now.
Well, the Gen G killers themselves, Miracle, will be taking on Team Liquid after the break. We'll be back before Heroes of the Storm.
It said this was a dead even fight. The ley line seal is a great tool there. Hold on, though. Fan is going to be focused out here. Gets a nice force of will as we see the Vin kind of flanking on the backside. Glong trying to move forward as they already get the kill there onto Kim. Riptire is the focus. Baked Cheese unable to escape as he eats all the damage there out of the Blizzard. 3 members now with Dahaka spawning, only 2 of Luna Meow off the board, and Tempo look to close out this game in the situation and being as defensive as they were. But the question is, without Heroics and Tempo closing in on a lead here, are they going to still be passive? And the answer is no. Here's the invade attempt. Fan finds a combo. It's a big one there. Immortal trying to survive, but double kill here for Tempo Storm. About to be, oh baby, a triple. Tempo cleans up shop here and finds a huge lead here in game 2. He's getting thirsty there as Glong goes for the flank. Kim's the focus as the last right's going to be used. Shadow charge against the wall along with the bunker. Last right's not even needed. There is a kill as Kim will be back with souls, but Baked Cheeks now the focus after the Luna Flare. Good night. Tempo finds 2 kills. And that one miracle fight just barely out of grasp.
That play by June right there is going to be enough to help seal the deal. That play on the Immortal, you can see Fan just goes out there. That play by June is enough to put the stamp on this game.